Hi, everybody. Welcome to episode 9 of Breaking It Down with Jodi Marks. I'm your host, Jodi Marks, and today we will be talking about what it's like growing up as a Black man. And we have a wonderful person with us today, and I love him so much. So we have Tyree Freely.
Yes, that's me.
Yes. Yes, he made it, y'all. He made it on, and I'm so excited because he has a story for us to, it's going to just blow your mind. Man. So, can you give a little background of yourself for everybody?
Yes. So my name is Tyree Freely. I am a 21-year-old, artist, singer, storytelling artist. I'm from Newark, New Jersey, and I also live in Atlanta. I moved to LA from Atlanta. And, all my life, I just knew I wanted to entertain, just perform, and just shine the light on all the darkness, honestly. So that's why I am pursuing as of now. I graduate in October with my BFA at AMDA. And I'm going to just kick it off from there. And, I thank God for everything. So, yes.
Even if you are, in your last semester during this quarantine.
It's crazy. It's crazy, but I'm sticking through it because I have to.
Things happen for a reason, like you said.
Yes, things happen for a reason.
Okay, let's get right into it.
Let's do it.
What was it like being a kid for you? When did you ever feel like or see racism or discrimination at a young age?
Man, it's so crazy because when I was 4 years old, honestly, 4 or 5 years old, I was experiencing things just like walking with my mother, or because I was a very lighter tone kid.
Mm-hmm.
So people used to ask, "Is that your baby, or is he adopted?" Like stuff like that. Like, as a young age.
My mom.
I'm like, man, stuff like that. And also at age like 8, I used to go to the grocery store, just walk in, and then people are following me, and stuff like that. I just walked in. I want some chips. Can I get some chips and leave, please? You know what I'm saying? But honestly, I have definitely had a great family who has always been there, throughout that. So I wasn't really oblivious to everything. So that was a good thing out of that as well.
Do you think that kids nowadays with like social media and everything, especially the little boys, do you think they're growing up faster than you did?
Oh, man. Man, yes. At a certain extent, I feel as if people are definitely too grown for their age now, very grown for their age. Mm-hmm. But in regards to, actually understanding what's going on, it just depends. I'm not too sure because there's a lot of people who really didn't know what was going on, and that's okay, and that's definitely okay. But they have used this time to understand, to actually see and open their eyes to what's been going on for 400 plus years. So I feel as if to a certain extent people are growing more than we have, like just more, but it's really just kind of just you acting grown, really. So but yes, for sure.
Yeah, but I do like seeing kids, stick up and have a voice. But sometimes I'm just like, oh, but I definitely be a kid though.
I definitely know when I see that.
Yeah.
It's just especially if they know what they're really speaking about, you feel the passion. It was just one little girl, I forgot her name. I wish I had her name. Young activist. She was marching, screaming, talking, protesting, and because she knew what was going on. And then that's crazy. So I'll take it back a little bit. Okay, it's definitely there are definitely some kids who have definitely grown up more than us. Definitely in what's going on. They're more open-minded to everything, in a sense.
What age did you have the talk?
Man.
That infamous talk about the police and your safety and how to handle it.
Man. I had the talk at age, I would say, really 9, like 8, 9, honestly. And then really again, 12,
Again, you said multiple
15.
times throughout life, honey.
Really, like it's, sometimes we get that reminder, before leaving, sometimes, but really I say about 3 times in my life, I really had the talk. Really, yeah, honestly.
Who gave you the talk?
My mother, my brother, It was a conversation with my family, a gathering.
Oh, a gathering.
A gathering.
Yes.
Like, man, we ate good though. But but it was a gathering that we literally had in South Carolina at my great grandmother's house. And we were all eating. At this point, this gathering was when I was 15. This is when I was 15 years old. Yes. I was 15 years old, and we had a nice little gathering in South Carolina. And everybody's eating, and then my great grandma was like, "Hey, everybody come in the kitchen." We like, okay, dessert. You know what I'm saying? You guys moved to the body, but we got to talk again. And in my mind, I'm like,
not expecting it. You said, I thought.
Right. I'm trying to get my way out, but honestly, it's things that we need. You know, especially growing up. I am a firm believer in raising my child knowing what's going on in this world. Because if anything were to happen, I would never be able to, really forgive myself.
Right.
And so that's just something that, yeah, I'm about to go in a whole nother place. Right. Sorry.
No, but that's where it needs to go. So you said you have to talk with different people. Who was the hardest person to have the talk with?
Say probably my mother, because she gets to the point. So, and then at the time, my first time really having it, with her, I was like 9 years old, so
so young. Did you even comprehend some of the things she was saying?
Oh yeah. When I tell you, being in a Caribbean household, we learn things early, but like it's literally like just It's honestly wild. Like my first time really hearing it from when I was 9, but when my brother told me again when I was like around 12, she was also there. My brother was more the speaker because it's my brother, so I'm looking up to him in a sense, Okay. But yeah, I feel as if because with her, she's she's to the point, honestly, and I love that about her. I really do. She's an empath. So she feels energy. So if I'm like, not really comprehending, not really listening, not really, she's going to be like, are you with me? Are you with me right now?
Call you out on it.
Well, and then she'll go back. Look, like I said, so what do you do if you...
Right, she's going to quiz you. That's the thing.
The quizzes.
Quizzing you after the talk, they'd be like, so what did I...
Right, I'm about to be like, Quizlet? Hold on. Because
right.
you know what I'm saying?
Is there something I could pull up for this?
Hello? No, literally. Because at the time, it's like, man, why am I listening to this? But now I can really, 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 really appreciate that. And I appreciate her, my brother, my great-grandmother, my whole family, honestly, for making sure we all kind of knew what was going on.
Mm-hmm. And you say that now because everybody that's watching and listening, you had an encounter with the police.
Oh,
during quarantine.
I sure did. During quarantine. So let's talk about that.
Let's talk about it. Let's get real.
All right. So I was doing a monologue competition for Leah Daniels Butler. And when I was submitting, I honestly... I was thinking the due date was like a week after. So I literally had an hour and a half to figure out this monologue, really getting deep, because like in my go-to, but for your go-tos, you still have to go back and do levels. You have to make sure you're on point with every action, every tactic. So I use my hands a lot. Oops.
I do too.
Yes.
I'm like,
Right. But as I was doing that, I only had about, 45 minutes to an hour to film and like edit, So I'm like, okay, let me do this takes. My slate took like 8. It took a minute for me to slate. I was forgetting my name. Like, what's going on? My name is Tyree. My name is Tyree. You know what I mean? Like,
yes. Mm-hmm.
So as I was filming, I kind of was stumbling a little bit. So as I got to my 4th take of this monologue, from Jitney playing the role of Becker, August Wilson, I had 2 lines left. About 2 lines. 2 lines. Two.
I know, that's infuriating. Just 2.
And I hear these knocks at my door. And at the time, I'm like, oh, okay, maybe I'm loud, But in my mind, I'm like, my roommates and I, we be loud. We be, dancing. We're all in the like industry, studying for the industry, or doing stuff. So we were just dancing, really, we always do that, but at the time it's just me there. It was just me. Nobody's home. It's just me. So I'm like, okay, maybe I'm too loud. Maybe it's a neighbor. I've not even met my neighbor. So I'm like, okay, maybe I'll meet a neighbor today. I looked through the peephole. Nobody's there. So I'm like, all right, maybe somebody's playing with Ding Dong Ditch or somebody needs me or something. I'm just thinking, like, okay, I'm gonna open the door. Like somebody needs me. Right. 2 cops come from the side hiding, just come out of nowhere. And they're like, basically, hey, like, what's going on in here? Like, how you doing? What's going on? I'm like, hey, I'm filming a self-tape. Like, who's in here with you? Nobody. I'm just filming a self-tape. They said self-tape. And I'm literally, my heart is like racing. And honest, and with everything that's been going on and I've seen, it's trigger of events.
And you by yourself too. That's another thing.
So right. So by myself. So it's so sickening that the main thought in the back of my mind is that somebody may find me laying dead in my living room, and it's just me there. And that is so, like, that's terrible. That's the first thing that I'm thinking about. Mm-hmm. That's really, besides like, God, get me out of this situation, like, really be with me. Because I'm like, I'm not trying to be, but let's go back.
Hashtag.
So, right, but really going back into that, they asked me to step outside. I'm saying, for what? Why I have to step out my house? No permission. They asked me if they come in, or like they just said step outside. In my mind, I'm like, this is my apartment. I'm in my apartment. It's quarantine. You guys have no masks on, and you guys are trying to get close to me. And I'm like, if I get sick, like, what? Like, but that's not. I'm not even thinking about that. I'm just thinking about living now. They said that we have to put you in handcuffs. We have to detain you, and once we check your house, your apartment, we're going to ask you some questions. I'm like, for what? Why do you have to put me in handcuffs? They're not telling me anything. I'm asking what's going on. They're not telling me nothing. Literally nothing. I'm asking their names. They don't tell me anything. Not at all. What protocol? What protocol is that? I've never. So I'm thinking, like, is there just a protocol for colors, like for Black men? I'm confused. So that's and wow, like me just thinking back and retracing the steps, telling it again, because I really appreciate you having me on here, because I have not really spoken, really about that since the incident, really, for on Broadway Black. But once they put me in handcuffs, they searched the house, and you can hear the officer sounding crazy. Look, anybody in 14, if you're in here, please say something now. He's listening. I kiss you not.
He's gonna find somebody tied up or something.
If I wasn't so mad, I would have been chuckling. He's like, hear me now. I
feel like now that you can laugh about it, it's good.
No, now I can laugh about it. No,
but in the moment, that's terrifying.
And he said, can you hear? He literally was sitting there for a minute. I'm like, oh my gosh, was she looking for a Casper? I literally was, what's going on? I said, nobody's in there. I kept saying, nobody's in there. Nobody's in there. He searched the whole place. You can hear him literally like walking footage. But it's, my heart was literally sinking. I can't even explain how I was really feeling. It's just the thought process that was going on my mind was just to live, like, please let me get out of this. So once they finish searching the house, they go back and just act like nothing happened, put me on the handcuffs. Oh, we're clear. So any questions? Are you freaking kidding me?
Right. You just handcuffed me. I got, what's your name?
You just took me out of my home, handcuffed me, metal handcuffs, no mask, and you too close to me, not telling me what's going on. And then they finally told me they got a call for possible domestic violence. Domestic violence? Are you kidding me? Is literally just me here. Didn't get it. And honest, to this day, I'm still trying to, get justice from that, because I filed multiple police reports. People have as well, and like, what's being done, But it's situations out here that are much worse than that. So really, I'm really focused on getting to the bottom of that, like, Breonna Taylor. So
Period. Say it louder.
Right. Okay. Right. Anyways, Breonna Taylor. Right. So really, but it's just it's like I have not really found that proper closure, and honestly, with what happened. It was April.
You know?
Right. I'm sorry.
I said, and will you though? Because you didn't.
Right. Honestly.
Because when did it happen?
I'm sorry?
When did it happen?
This happened April 3rd. April 3rd, I believe, or the 6th. I believe it was April 3rd. I believe it was. Yeah. I believe so.
Because I remember seeing it on Broadway Black first on Instagram.
Yes.
And thinking it was your page.
Yes.
And then all these people are commenting like, oh, and I said, wait.
Right.
Let's go look real quick. And then I go to your page, and then you have the whole talk. And then you also have the video because you were recording your monologue, but you still had your tape going. Yes. So you hear the cops in the background asking, is anyone here? You know what I mean? Like you hear you asking like, why am I getting handcuffed? Mm-hmm. It's crazy.
Yeah, honestly, I can't believe I still was recording because in my mind, I think you see me in the video as I'm like upset, like somebody just knocked at the door. I'm like, are you kidding me? 2 more lines. I look at the video, but I'm in my mind, I'm like, okay, let's keep this rolling, you know? So I just walked to the door. I'm so glad I did. I'm so glad I did. I'm so glad. It's such a tragic incident, but you know, some good has come from it. So some good has, and we would get into that as well, you know.
Yeah, but what's good? Like, what good has come from it?
Oh, well, I got a review from the Grill. It's like a pretty big magazine. Broadway World also put me on their site from everything. I got my interview in my live meeting with Leah Daniels Butler. She spoke to me, and so. Like what? And the whole point of this, I was like, I was late because of this situation, you know. Yes, I was late submitting because of that situation. So I was like, please give me a chance. I know I'm late, but this is what happened, you know. So you know I'm not lying. This is the footage, you know. Like it's the words I put in the caption. I was surprised that it really flowed the way it did because it was fresh. So things were still in my mind. So I'm really typing like it could have been like these, you know, it could have been, you know, really. But in my mind, I'm like,
you know what? We have the video,
right?
And we're gonna play the video.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
We're gonna play the video.
Yes.
Right now.
Let's do it. Hello.
Let's do it. I was there. I was holding her hands when she died. Where was you? Locked up in a cage like some animal. That's what killed her. To hear the judge say that the life she brought into this world was unfit to live. That you be remanded to the custody of commissioners of corrections at Western State Penitentiary. There to be executed in the electric chair. This order to be carried out 30 days from today. Ain't that what the judge said? Ain't that what she heard? This order to be carried out 30 days from today. That's what killed her. She didn't want to live them 30 days. She don't want to be alive to hear when 11 o'clock news that they had killed you. So don't you say nothing about me turning my back when I nursed that woman. Talked to her, prayed over her, held her hand. The last words to come out her mouth was your name? I was there. Where were you, Mr. Murderer? Mr. Unfit to live among society? Where were you when your mama was dying and calling your name? You are my son. I helped to bring you into this world, but from this moment on, I'm calling the day off. You ain't nothing to me, boy.
How you doing, sir? Hey, do me a favor, go and step out. Come over here. Let's go out. Okay. Just keep your hands outside. Who else is inside?
Nobody?
Nobody else?
No.
Okay, just talk to my partner real quick. Okay. Well, just come here. You're the only one inside?
No. I'm going to self-tape.
Self-tape?
Yeah, for class.
Was there somebody else?
Miss me.
Do me a favor, right? So we got a radio call, place your hands up, we're under arrest. We're just trying to figure out nothing going on right now, okay? Turn around, okay?
No, why am I getting on handcuffs for what?
You're being detained, sir.
For what?
Sir, somebody called us and said there might have been some fighting going on. As soon as we start saying, I'll take them off.
I'll answer all your questions.
No handcuffs. I don't want no handcuffs.
Sir, this has to happen like this. This is our policy. I'm gonna answer all your questions. You gotta do this for us right now. It's not
We're
recording, it's
very
not
relaxed
question.
to you. But normally you would just grab me.
How would you grab me though? I'm doing a subject for class.
Okay, sir.
Can you understand where we're coming from? We're trying to make sure everybody's okay, okay? Just turn around.
Handcuffs?
Yes, just turn around for a second, okay, sir?
Yeah. And what's your name?
I'll get you names, I'll get you a business card, I answer all your questions, sir. I appreciate your cooperation. Anybody else inside apartment 418, make yourself known right now. Just go
Yeah.
What's your name, sir?
Sorry.
Tyree. Before?
This video, how do you feel when you watch back? And it's also weird, right? Because normally in most of the videos, you see what's happening.
Yes.
It's kind of eerie in the fact of like, you don't know what's happening.
Yes.
Like, as a viewer.
For sure. Like literally watching that, I get the anxiety comes back all over again. It's just like, wow, like, huh? What's going on? Like, I just before that knock, it's like, wow, and my heart is like
That little.
no, because I'm like, are you kidding? Two
Yeah.
lines. I said, oh my goodness, somebody about to get it. You know what I mean? Like, I'm like, man, like, you kidding me? But it's ridiculous. It really is. But me watching it again, now it's like, and now I can kind of laugh at it a little bit. It's still not, it's not right. It's not at all. It's wrong.
Yeah.
Policy was not followed. Protocol, not. So, but now I'm watching it. I just wish there was like some, I wish you could see what was going on. Honestly, it could have been much worse as well. It could have been much worse, literally.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm so thankful for that. But it shouldn't have happened at all. So I can't even say it's okay because it's not. But I'm okay. I'm great. I feel like I'm a much stronger Black man because of that. You know, and I'm able to share that story and tell people that it's okay not to be okay sometimes. You know, it is, you know, and just to understand what's going on and stay strong in who you are. And allow certain situations that could end you, that didn't, change your life for the better forever. Right. So
yeah, in the comments, someone said, well, P3 Theater Company said,
yes.
I can't help but wonder if you were a white man, if you would have been handcuffed.
And oh yeah, that wouldn't have happened. They probably, oh yeah, they would just, can I come in? You know, probably just been sitting there watching them walk through the house, or I don't even know, but I just know I wouldn't have been treated that way. And if you hear in the video, you can hear that he said, you're lucky that we asked you, something like that. We could have just threw you and put you something like that. I'm like, but why? For what? I'm doing a self-tape. What's this, like, self-tape? You or a police officer in Los Angeles. Right. You don't know what a self-tape. Okay. All right, cool. They thought I was lying. Self-tape. Right. And when you open the door, you literally see my little,
camera.
It was like, I little ghetto. It was just my,
we all have one.
Right, my chair, tripod. You know, you literally see it, the light's still on. You know, my phone's still on it. I said, yeah, my self-tape, I'm recording for my school. You know, I said my school, you know. He said, self-tape. Didn't believe me. He was, all right, well, we need you to step out. All right, yeah.
How did your mom feel about that? Did she watch
My
it?
mother, she was so shocked. She was like, are you kidding me? I'm like, no, like, because I told her before anything, or right after it happened. She was, did you get your names? I sure did. I got their names, the card, their badge numbers, you know. She literally was telling me, it's so crazy. She was telling me a couple of days before, like, you know, just be like, mindful of your surroundings, like, be aware, you know, like, you've been on my mind, you know, be aware, let's you like, so, like, you know. And when I told her, she was like, oh my goodness, like, it could have been much worse. You're good. She was just like thankful, honestly, very thankful. But she was so upset. Like, she was so upset. Yeah, she was so upset, furious. So, but it's not over. So they think it's okay, but it's not. And it's okay. They'll see. They'll understand.
Yes, they will. We actually have a question about the talk. Yes. So one person said, did they tell you because of events that happened, or was the talk just to educate you?
Both. Events that happened in my life. I got the talk when I was about 9 the first time because of the whole grocery store situation that happened when I was 8.5. It was like about to be 9. So when I turned 9, it was like my mother was like, okay, we're gonna start this. She already had it in her mind. I was gonna have it a couple times. She had told me she already had it. You're gonna know when you're like kind of understanding things, when you understand it, and when you're okay, yeah, I'm growing. So yes. And then when I got to a certain age, like adulthood, it's like I already knew. So it's just me kind of bringing myself to more knowledge, more wisdom, and what's going on. So yeah, events that happened to me, to my family, and just to educate me. Definitely being a strong Black man, you know, definitely. Hello, boom, pow.
So when you were growing up, did you ever feel like you couldn't be yourself? You know, how everybody labels what the Black man is supposed to be, how they're supposed to act?
Oh, definitely. Oh, yes, for sure. I was always expected to play a certain sport. I was expected to just be strong, you know. If I feel like emotional, and I need to hold that in, honestly, you know. My mother was like, she was like, if you need to cry, let it out because you can get sick if not. You know, like something like that. You know, like my mom was like, look, you know, be you know. But I've definitely, you know, she had talked to me, you know, just about certain things I should be doing, you know, I shouldn't be doing, you know, as being a strong Black man. I know the young Black man, Black boy growing, you know, but now strong Black man, you know. But yeah, just it's been a situation, but I did like sports, so just
that's the thing though. I hate when you do love something.
Yeah.
Somebody has to make it about your
that's the thing.
Oh, and you're a Black boy. Oh, so you must run fast. You must be able to play ball. Like I hate when people say that about like Black men. I'm like, just because they can run fast doesn't mean it's because they're Black. It means because they're a great athlete.
Yes, no, honestly, thank you. And then I'm like in the back of my mind, I'm like, I don't even like this no more because you make, you know,
you know, like dang, joy out of it,
man. So yes, baseball was my sport. Baseball was my sport. Love baseball. But I also played football, and basketball. Was basically like, oh, you're going to be in this camp. I don't want to be. You're going to be. My pops was like, you're going to be. It was in Jersey. I was on the Raiders Little League, something like that. I was actually pretty good, but I didn't like it. So it was just like, you're wasting your money. I told him, I said, you're wasting your money. Literally.
You're like, I need to go to the arts, honey.
I said, I love entertainment. I love the arts, you know? And I was like, I just want to act. I knew I could sing a little bit, but I was just so nervous. I was just singing like, yeah. But
I know you can sing. I've heard you
sing. You. Thank you so much. Thank you. And I'm glad that I've grown and I've like really. And I feel like this incident, this whole incident, it really has pushed me even harder to certain heights in my voice, in my tone, and also just in my body, you know, really being aware of what's going on, you know, eternally too. Because during the incident, you can probably hear my voice, like, I'm like slick, like tremoring a little bit. You know, it's like, wow, like I'm like, are you kidding? I have not been in a situation like this. And I'm like, any fault, any wrong word, it could be, you know, terrible. Oh,
Really bad.
a terrible sight. It could be terrible. It could be terrible. So it was just that. Yeah.
Welcome.
But yeah, really,
I just realized you're here. Hi, welcome.
Hi, a million apologies if I'm late. I'm so
all good. You're in New York time.
Yes, and not, you know, time's irrelevant right now. Irrelevant.
Yeah.
Yes, everybody, if you're still watching, we have Kenney M Green here with us all the way from New York. Okay. Do you just want to tell everybody who you are real quick? Fill them in.
Sure. Hi, I'm Kenney Green. What to say? I'm an actor and director based out of New York, and I'm an artistic director of a theater in the Adirondacks of New York, where I'm in my messy office right now. Because, you know, we got to close up the theater because of the COVID.
You know, I actually was just talking with you with John because I was looking at our website and I saw you went to AMDA.
I did.
We both went to AMDA.
A long time ago, girl. We don't talk about it. I turned 43 on Friday. I should take that off my website.
People, hello. Congratulations.
Listen, you know that old saying, black don't crack.
Okay, no, right.
Cool.
Okay.
Yes, that AMDA family.
Yes, I need there to be a season so I can pay for my treatment.
You know, I'm hoping there's a season soon. And you also are a pianist at the a famous bar down there, right?
I'm one of the pianists at Marie's Crisis Cafe in the Village. Yes. Which we don't know when that will open again, which makes me so. I'm so happy to see this melanin. I have to tell you, I'm so happy. Anyway, yes. Go ahead.
Thank you for coming.
Yeah. Thank you. Yes.
Yeah. So we're gonna talk about the whole entertainment industry because I have both of you on.
Yes.
How has being a Black man in the entertainment industry been for you? Have you found any hurdles you've had to overcome?
You know, it's funny because I just had this discussion. Unfortunately, it was in a public forum. But you know, when the whole BLM started and people started calling to arms Broadway to do something about it, we started sharing our experiences. And I grew up in Fresno, California, and I luckily grew up in a theater company that they were already doing the work. It was a community theater company, but it's a prominent community theater in Fresno, and my first show there was as a lead, and I left there to go to college as a lead. So it didn't dawn on me that was a thing, that people on Broadway, you know, we were the sidekicks, and we were shucking and jiving, because in my experience growing up, I wasn't. Mm-hmm. So when it happened, one of my first experiences was at AMDA, where I had a teacher tell me in one of my song assignments, I fought against it. It was Porgy and Bess. It was Sport and Life and Porgy and Bess.
Mm. And we've all done the Porgy and Bess.
Hello.
And that was my point. We had all done the Porgy and Bess. And I was like, right. I know this canon. This is already happening. Is there any possible way that I can get assigned another song? And he literally put his hand on his chin and in front of the entire class went, well, Ken, you just need to realize that you're Black. And that's when I promptly left the school after that.
Oh no, he left AMDA.
Oopsie.
That happened in my second semester, and I remember walking out of that classroom, and I said, because that never happened to me before.
Yeah.
Right.
And you know, I learned that it happened to all of us all the time.
Yes.
But also, I'm stubborn. And so I was like,
understood.
Well, first of all, you're not going to talk to me that way.
Right.
Second of all, before I bounce out of this school, let me go on with these 2-3 auditions and let me just go ahead and prove you wrong.
Right.
and I booked a European tour on the third audition I went on, and
Yes.
I left the school right after that.
You said, I'm booked and blessed. I don't need this.
Hello? Look.
I have to go. You're making my soul hurt.
Okay. Well, I'm happy that teacher probably isn't there anymore, I hope.
Right. Man.
I mean, I've definitely had it at AMDA where obviously I get the Black characters, you know, like we all get like colored woman from Memphis, you know.
Right.
We get when I was done. I got
Run and tell that.
Right.
That part.
Right.
Or Queen Latifah, because I was always the person where they're like, you a Queen Latifah girl.
Yeah.
So anything Queen Latifah did, I have in my book.
Yeah.
But when were you going to get to be Jodi? That's the question.
You know?
When are you going to get to be Tyree? That's the question.
Yes.
When, it's our time. It's our time to be ourselves. Yeah. And that's what you're training me for. And then it made me question theater and academia altogether. Because if we're just going to be cookie cutters, what am I really learning? And I personally feel most of my education, and the reason why I'm in this chair right now, I'm in the Adirondacks, there's flies. I'm blessed to be in this chair right now is because I learned most of my theater education from being backstage and being in rehearsal hall and actually, doing the work. Not to say that college didn't help me with that, but it didn't help me find my voice. That didn't happen.
Yes.
Right.
As an African American in theater.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Got you. Yeah.
Because who's going to teach that to us?
Yeah.
Just the whole, because I was always wondering, is it different for the guys, in entertainment? Because, the girls like, oh, our tights don't always fit. Like, they're not the same color, blah, blah, blah. And especially when you guys are portrayed in a certain way, like, this is what the Black man's supposed to act like.
Right.
And it's not always like.
Right.
So I'm always like, how do you feel about how the Black man is portrayed? Like in TV, film, theater, all of it.
Me or Tyree?
Oh, okay.
Go ahead, Tyree.
Well, it's honestly, it can either go when it's TV, they're either like the Black gay friend, or maybe like the hood one, the hood one, very hood. There's got to be right on it, just I'll shoot you up. Like, you kidding me? Like, what? Or it's probably a nerd too. Honestly, but I say it's more stereotypically towards, like, just the project, like every Black man is hood, this hood, and just, hide your purses because we're gonna get them. Like, I'm not worried about you and your purse. Like, really, stuff like that. And it's like I was saying earlier, it's so sad that we're in a place where we have, like, we're okay with walking and then somebody cleans their purse and is like, okay, like, it's because I'm Black. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like it's crazy that we live in a world like that. It's like like when you see it, you're not like shocked because it happens. It happens. Or like, so that's why I feel as if, in TV and movies, it's a lot of that portrayed, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it's just to piggyback on what you're saying. It's I think it also comes down to who is running the narrative.
Yes.
Running the narrative.
That's so true. Perfect.
Right. Of course, those are the characters that we're going to see. Because that's whoever the director is, or the screenwriter is, or whoever's the green lighting it in the office. That's what they believe us to be.
Right.
So if they believe it and their money's behind it, that's what's going to put down on paper. And
right.
That's going to get filmed.
Yes.
And until enough of us are in positions to take back control of that narrative, And I'm not even saying, I just put it in musical theater sense. I'm not, let's put it this way. Perfect example, I just had this discussion the other day. Music Man is supposed to return to Broadway.
Yes, yes, yes.
And I openly said, I was like, what I don't need to see is another all-white production of The Music Man. Not now,
For sure.
not ever.
For sure.
But at the same token, there's a theater in Florida, which a friend of mine, her name is Brittany Coleman. She was in the company Revival before COVID, and she's very beautiful, gorgeous African-American woman.
Yes.
Yeah.
And she was the lead in Music Man at Oslo Rep.
Hello, Queen.
Hey,
She
right.
She can sing it, hands down. And she's the first person I thought of. And it made national news that she was playing Marion.
Yes.
The librarian.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, why are we, yes, I get Sutton Foster as Tony's, but this beautiful African-American woman, why are we not letting the rest of the world know that it can be done and she is doing it?
Right.
Why do we have to rely on Audra McDonald to fix everybody's problems?
Right.
Why are we not giving everybody a chance?
No, that is so true. That is so true. But I mean, I love Audra. I love her. But yes, for sure.
She's a role model for me.
Queen.
Oh, for sure. Oh, yeah. Oh, definitely. But it's like
there are more
you're
of us
so
who can do it.
Yes, you're so right with that. Like, she shouldn't be the only one that, like, you know, we are looking up to, you know, when it comes to strong female leads, you know, Black female leads, strong Black female leads. So, yeah, so I agree with everything you're saying. It really depends on, you know, who's behind it, the money. You know, like, who's really putting this money into it. You know, really, that is so true. Wow. I couldn't have said it any better, honestly.
Yeah.
Honestly.
When you guys are doing shows, have you ever felt like your voice can't be heard, or maybe because you are, you know, a person of color and you're like a man, and sometimes you're just like, let me not look as aggressive, you know, they're gonna be, or when you see a white person, you're just like, oh, let me down myself to make you feel comfortable.
I feel as if there was a time where, you know, I feel like I had to kind of belittle myself and like kind of step myself on not a pedestal, but you know, down, you know what I'm saying? Because just to kind of fit in with, you know, the level, the vibe of everybody else. You know, I didn't want to seem too much or, you know, not really be myself. It's so crazy that I was even thinking like that, but at that time I wasn't even comfortable with my voice or really just like really comfortable in my element to really fully. I'm still going to, but honestly, but now it's sort of like, I'm me, you know, I'm going to be cast for me. You know, I am a strong Black man, and I know for sure that it's some things that I need to work on, you know, or I may not be good for everybody. Everybody may not love me, but it's going to be that one yes because of me being myself and me really putting myself on the floor in the audition room, you know, really just being me, like I said. So yeah, I feel like not anymore. It's not really a thing that I feel like I have to do to fit in or, you know, to be liked in a sense. But it was a thing that has been racing through my mind and going through my mind constantly for years growing up, because I wanted to be like, why can I do that? You know, why am I looked at? I do that, you know, just because of society and also just how everything was viewed. Color, you know, and being a man, you have to do this one thing, you have to be this way, like we talked about before. So really tying in everything is honestly it's crazy. But now I'm me, and I'm not afraid to say it, you know. Oops, not apologetic for it.
Right. And it's a hard road. It's a hard road. I mean, I had the same problem.
Yes.
And I don't want to say it's a problem because, well, yeah, it's a problem. But, you know, because it starts off, you know, in our industry alone, you don't want to be the diva, you don't want to be the divo. That's if you're any color. You don't want to be that person.
For sure.
However,
yeah.
there are definitely some Coreens, some ensemble members who will get away with some stuff, and you're sitting there and you're like, all I asked for stage management was for a glass of water.
Right.
This situation over here is happening. And you just want to fit in. And you don't want to cause any waves. And you also don't want to be the angry Black woman or the angry Black man. Right.
Right.
Because there's, as of well, for me at that time, there's only one or two of me in the ensemble to begin with.
Mm.
I already stick out because I'm Black. I can't stick out because I'm Black and ornery. Like it can't be both things.
Both.
Mm-hmm. Right.
But then, magical thing happens when you hit 40. Don't care. And I mean that in the sense of, and it's new to me, but because I'm still auditioning as well. But I get into rehearsals and I'm like, y'all playing games.
Right.
Not that I got to be extra, but I will ride that wave until and it doesn't have to be a big blow up, but I will definitely ride that wave until I have to pull the production stage manager aside or director. And this happened in a production of Ain't Misbehaving. I did have to pull the director and choreographer aside, who are both Caucasian, and said, hey, I understand your process. I understand you're creating something new. This feels like I'm shucking and jiving and I do not feel comfortable doing this and doing this in front of a predominantly white audience. What are we going to do about it? Those conversations, I think, can always be had. And anybody who doesn't want to have that conversation or calls you out for being too much, that's not a company you want to work for.
Right.
Ever.
Yeah.
Because if that's happening in the rehearsal process, what's going to happen when the show opens and you're stuck in that run?
Yeah.
I believe in nipping it in the bud as soon as you can. And if I'm
right. Before things get they get too comfortable.
Right.
Right.
Please don't get too much is built up, and they're like, well, when do I say anything now?
Right. Now it's like, okay, look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 strikes. Man.
So in today's society, as a Black man in America, do you feel free or safe?
Honestly, I will say this, that my theater company where I am now it's beautiful. It's on Lake Champlain.
Yes.
It's myself and one other Black woman who lives in this town. This town has money. I don't have money. This town has money. And right now in my wallet, not for any other reason, because everybody here knows what I do for a living and they know my job. But in case I get pulled over driving my car, my business card stays in my wallet, a stack of them at all times. So if anything happens, people know that I belong in this city.
Right.
I hold a position in this city, even if
for sure.
Do I feel free walking about this city? Yes. Is it comfortable? No. No.
Yes. Agreed. Definitely agreed. I 100%, because it's like I feel like I'm free because I'm able to, walk around and I'm not in chains, I'm not locked up or detained, at least not right now. It's crazy, but just me being able to be myself, I'm able to, but am I comfortable with doing that? I'm comfortable with myself, but everybody around me, I'm so in my head, I have to be very observant with everything that's going on. Somebody gets close to me or somebody, a group of, Caucasians may be staring at me. I'm like, okay, look, is something about to happen to me or something about to occur? It's like I was saying before, it's crazy. I'm not sure if you know what happened incident with me in April, but there was a situation where the cops came to my house and due to a self-tape, they knocked on my door. And I wanted to talk about that because it's sickening that my first thought is that I was gonna be lying dead in my living room and somebody comes in and just sees me there, and that's how they find me, and just this is not something that should be the first thing going through my mind. It's not something that I should be afraid of. Walking out, and people that should be enforcing, justice, enforcing, really helping us and for us, it doesn't seem like they are. Right. Honestly, and it's like who are we supposed to call? Something happened. I call 911. They may think it's me, and I'm dead.
That actually happened. Not even couple days ago.
Wow.
These three black boys were they're not even, they're like teenagers. We're at a
Oh my
bus
gosh.
stop, and they were basically getting harassed and, beaten, and these people saw it and called the cops for the other people, but who ended up getting arrested were the three
Wow.
boys.
Wow.
And I was just like, because there's a video out there and I saw it, I'm like, the people are telling you that's not who they called you for, and then you have cops pointing guns at them. So being a black boy, black man in America, you're like, if somebody is trying to help you and then you become the victim,
Right.
that's not how we should, you know what I mean? Like if like there was a group of people, like I mean a crowd, like
Right.
crowd is, and every single person is telling you, we called you to help them, not detain them and arrest them. Like you think you would listen, right? You wouldn't have
You would listen.
rifles and on these children. Like they're teenagers. They were just
Teenagers.
And it's those kind of things where that's why I wanted to have this topic, because I'm like, seeing that and seeing the way black men in America are treated
Yes.
is ridiculous. And the fact is we have so many videos out there of all the Karens calling on nothing. Just like you said, like
what frightens me and upsets me is that with all, especially this year, right? So so this year the whole world is seeing what the two of you and myself have known has been happening to us for decades.
Yes.
Centuries.
Yes.
So we've known that this is happening to us, and the whole world is just now catching up. What's frightening is instead of, as of yesterday, there was another Karen phone call on a black man in California for blocking her car. She called the cops and called him the N-word up and down all over the place. And he filmed it. So that's happening yesterday. And we know what 2020 has been the biggest dumpster fire known to man for various reasons, but especially for being a black man in America. So if that's happening yesterday, they don't want to change. They know what's happening. No one's living under a rock. They don't want to change. Yeah. They don't, and it's not the entirety of the world. We know that the problem is it's a small amount of people who believe this and are doing this, but those small amount of people, when they do this shit, sorry, I'm not allowed to curse. I didn't know if I was allowed to curse.
It's okay.
I'm getting a little heated.
Leave.
when they do these things, that's when people die.
Right.
So here we are. We have a group of people in this country who know what's happening. They know it's wrong, and they don't care. That's what's scarier. Detained, I think. Who's doing the detaining? Is it somebody who doesn't care? Or a cop who actually does care and wants to figure out how to solve the situation?
Right.
Or the citizen's arrest that we've all seen.
Right. Okay. Right.
He said, "Let me."
Right. Man.
Nobody, listen, not until the past 5 years, 4, maybe 3. I'm going to give you 3. Not till the past 3 years have people been walking around crying citizen's arrest. Hello?
Right.
Now we know it happens, but in this country, people are like, listen, I don't want to fill out an incident report. I don't want anybody talking to me. I'm not doing a citizen's arrest. You might got a gun, a knife.
Right.
But now all of a sudden people are like, hello, I'm filing a citizen's arrest.
Yes.
Right.
Why are you doing the citizen's arrest? Because you know when you do white girl Karen scream and cry that somebody's going to die. That's what's doing it.
The citizen's arrest law is so outdated. Okay, it was made when slavery was happening, and it was basically a law that the white man made so he could arrest his slave and bring him back.
Correct.
Like it's not even it's so outdated. Like it's not something we should be using, but it's in basically every state. I think it's only not 1 or 2 states.
Basically in every state. Let me tell you this: I guarantee you, dollars to donuts that some states in particular that will remain nameless totally know how that law got started and totally use it for that reason.
Yes.
Because I can guarantee you some of us still view them as their property and their slaves.
Yeah.
It's like, wow. It's so crazy to me. Like, when you think about police officers, you think about them, like I said, being there for us and actually being there when we call them for help, when something's going on, they call 911. And then I think I go back and I'm like, oh, slave patrol turns police.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. I'm like, oh, and it's so sad because I know some great cops. I know some great cops.
My dad was a cop.
One of my best
Yeah.
friends retired NYPD officer. And he and I have had great conversations.
Yes.
In fact, I'm supposed to see him next weekend.
Right.
He openly admits that there's a problem.
Yes. Yes. My uncle, he's a cop in Jersey. And he's literally, he knows so much. He's seen so much. It's really ridiculous. The stories he has witnessed, and just if being in a room, like I can't even imagine, like being. It's yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I have a question for y'all from one of the listeners, P3 Theater Company. It says, as Black men, have you experienced other people crossing the street because they may be scared of you? If so, how did that make you feel? And what would you say to people who feel the need to do that, whether their fear be cautious or conscience? Like, do they know about it? Do they not? Do they just decide to do it?
Man, I'm sure it's a decision that's made up in their mind.
The other way, they know.
Unless it's just something they're so used to. And if that's the case, then something has to give, But I'm pretty sure it's like they're thinking, okay, let me just cross and make make any trouble, And depending on the attitude, if they're just stuck up, I might even say something like, have a nice day, so they know, like, oops, I saw you. Why didn't I just not even say that? Like, oops, forget it. I'm not even gonna let it get to me, because like I said, like, it's sad that it's like, oh, it happens. It's sad that it's that mindset of like, oh yeah, I've been through that. It's only the 84th time, 163. Like, it's sad that we have to really be in that mentality of things happen, it shouldn't, but
right.
So yeah. Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's definitely happened to me, and I mean, the same thing with Tyree. I've not felt one way or the other about it, because that's been happening to me since I was 14. So
right.
Do you find if you're wearing something else, like, or if you have a smile on your face, they'll come towards you, or it's the same thing?
It has happened to me walking down the street wearing a 3-piece suit to a gig. Doesn't matter what I wear. And listen, I know myself.
Yes.
I'm as preppy can be. I'm always in a down shirt. I'm always in. I mean, I wore golf shorts today. I mean, you don't know how to play golf, and I don't have money like that. But that's just how I like to dress.
Okay.
So there's no one who could possibly mistake me for wanting to rob them on the street, especially when this purse falls out of this mouth and I'm talking to somebody. So it's their own situation, and I'm just like, well, girl, if you think I'm the one to rob you today, that's amazing.
Right.
It's really amazing.
Right.
And you even have the trick with your wallet, like you were talking about.
Yep.
How did you even think about that? Because that's something people don't have to think about. You know what I mean?
Well, I drive a lot. I drive a lot. I mean, a lot of people in New York City don't have to drive, but my husband and I, we drive everywhere now, and it's just best. A valid driver's license, as we have noticed in the past 3 years in America, doesn't matter.
Yep.
So I'm like, I mean, we keep our passports in the car. I got a valid driver's license. I have my business cards, and like I have my equity card in there. I'm like, just so you know.
Right.
Right.
Because Because if I'm in a situation where I'm detained and I try to tell you these things, we've also learned in the past 3 years that nothing I say to you verbally is going to matter. So when they find my body, or when I'm in jail and they take my contents and the police go through it, they'll have all the evidence that they need, and they can call all the people who they need to call, because nothing I say to you is going to stop this situation from happening, as we have seen.
I've seen a lot of people actually getting creative about their registration and license, because you know how you normally go for the glove compartment.
Right.
Yes.
I saw on one of my friend's stories how somebody he knew like basically posted saying, I was, pulled over, and the cop, because I'm Black, basically told me I need to put it on my what is it, the mirror that comes down, basically put it there so you're not reaching for anything, so I don't have a reason to come for you. I said, but as a cop, you shouldn't be thinking that in the first place, that something bad is in their glove compartment in the first place.
Right.
Just because of the skin, like the color of their skin.
Exactly. And that's where we have all these, it's just so contradictory what you have, the rules and what we have to do so we can stay alive. The DMV says to put the crap in your glove compartment. The cops are saying don't reach for anything.
Right.
I got a proper registration. I need to see your tag. Like, what's supposed to happen? What are we? Of course, people are confused and yelling back at the cops in the middle of the street.
Right.
Right.
Registration is wrong or inconsistent.
Yes.
So I mean, what's what?
Yeah.
But on the flip side, why does everybody gotta have a gun when they reach for the registration? Why do you think that?
Right.
What's in that training that you think that?
Right.
But in their mind, also, it's only a person of color, because a white man would never.
Right.
I
literally saw this video. Oh, so sorry. Sorry, Kenny.
No, I just wanted to give her a shout out, and I keep pointing, but my camera's reversed. I'm old.
No, you're good. So you're good, man. Hello, boom, boom. Hello, you look great. Okay, boom. Great for your age, man. Black don't crack unless you smoke it. So, but I remember seeing this video of this Caucasian man getting arrested. He's literally fighting the police officers.
I know which one you're talking about.
Oh my goodness!
Right, it's in the broad daylight, and they're like in
the street. Yes, he's
yes. Don't they?
No.
Don't they tase him like 3 times?
No, literally does. They're just like they're like tasing him. They're just tasing him. Like, no, they're choking him and everything. He's like fighting them. Like, you kidding me? Are you kidding me?
But
like, I'm sitting there.
Story.
I'm sorry?
But he's alive to tell that story.
Like, not even injured. Like, you know what I'm saying? Not even injured, for real.
That's the thing, though, because I went to, my first college was in Maine, right, where it's predominantly white.
Yes.
I remember going to college parties, and the boys had the most elaborate stories of, oh my God, this cop pulled me out, blah, blah, blah. And I'd be like, if any of my Black cousins did anything that you did, if the boys in my family did a single thing that you did, they would not be here.
Right.
Or they would be in jail. I'm like,
in jail, in hospital.
Because they were like, oh yeah, this cop found my weed, blah, blah, the drugs. And I'm like, you know that Black men are put in jail for less.
Like what? Like
than what you did, because your daddy got you out. Like, it really was just that was that simple.
Like, are you kidding?
And yet these are the same people who in their 20s and 30s and maybe 40s and 50s now who do not see the double standard and the hypocrisy in that.
Yes.
Who don't understand, well, they should have complied with the rules. I don't understand. We're like, but when you were in college,
you did something too. Yeah.
Right.
Exactly. Mm-hmm.
Come on now. And you're alive to tell that story. What are you talking about?
Right.
I can't.
So this is for you, Kenny. Do you think, because we've gone through, like you said, these issues time and time and time again, With this movement, though, do you think it is different, or do you think we're just going to go back and it's just going to be another thing in the Black community history?
Well, here's the deal.
On a loaded question.
And it's loaded, but it's needed. In my heart of hearts, I deep down inside, I hope that this is the wake up call, because the bell has been rung this year loudly, and one thing I can say that we can thank this administration for, if we have to, is that it has made people, and I really hate the term woke, because I feel like people should just be human beings and do the right thing. Why do you have to be woke? Why do you? I don't. And I get it why it came about.
Yeah.
But this administration has made people push back on every level. Being Black, being a woman, being a sexual predator, it has made this entire country push back. Specifically to the Black experience, I hope this is the first time that Caucasian allies are also. You know what I mean? Back during the Civil Rights Movement, yes, there were a smattering, but it was, the Black people and people of color coming up.
Yes.
This time around, the Black Caucus came together. It was like, we're not taking it anymore. And white people were like, wait a minute. No, we ain't taking it anymore.
Right.
And we haven't really seen that en masse. The way that it's happening at the time. So I hope that the follow through, because listen, 2020 is going to end, and then January 21st is going to happen, and we may have a new president. Does that mean that we stop this situation? I hope not.
No, I hope that they can, make it grow and make the necessary steps that they need to take to ensure everybody is treated equally.
Correct.
Yes.
Because even though the current occupant will be evicted, that doesn't mean that we still don't have racists in this country.
Right.
Well, even in the Senate and the House, like, they're still there.
Aren't they, though? They are very much there.
They are.
With all their money,
they are.
Their power.
People got to go vote.
No, like, hey, register. Thank you. Appreciate it. Amen.
Yes, register.
Really.
Now, and don't trust the post office. I feel like, oh man, get off my lawn.
Right.
Don't trust the post office. Don't be lazy. Get to the polls and vote.
Right.
They try to take your voice away. Don't let them.
Right.
Okay, we're getting ready to close this out, but I have one more question for you. I've seen a lot on social media with I'm a Black man, and it was like that empowering, like, this is what a Black man means.
Yes.
What does being a Black man mean to you? And how would you like others to view and treat Black men in general?
That's a great question. Hello?
Great question.
Wow, okay. Ken, you want to go first?
I see you. Nicely played. It's my fault for being late. I get it. No, what being a Black man, period, means that I have a heritage and I have a lineage just as strong and deep as anybody else is. My only downfall is that I can only go back so far. And that's not my family's fault. I can only go back so far. So being a Black man to me in America means I feel like I have a duty to my legacy, not my legacy, but my heritage and my people before me, to do good as much as I can. And I have faltered, and people will falter, but to do good as much as I can in this world, and to leave behind something that's worthy of my heritage and my family. and not to let us get erased, to stand up and to be counted. As human beings, as fellow human beings like anybody else on this planet. It is ridiculous that in 2020 I mean, I'm glad I get to see your beautiful brown faces, but it is ridiculous that in 2020 that the three of us are sitting here having this conversation.
Right.
When our people before us have already fought for this to not be.
Right.
And I keep reminding people, 1965 is not that long. It's not that long ago. 1965
it really isn't.
Yeah.
My mother was born in 1957. She's very much still on this planet. My grandmother was born in 1922, and she is still on this planet. She's going to be 100 in 2 years. This woman has seen everything. And
I bet you she's fine.
Yes.
Fine, still raising hell and telling us.
Yes.
But she's literally seen everything. And I can only imagine what it's like for her to see this going on when she's been through the fight.
She's been through it all.
Yes. My great grandfather the same way. Same way, man. He's about to be 101 in December.
Yes. Awesome.
Yes.
Awesome.
Literally.
So I think it's important as being Black in this country is that we cannot let down anybody before us who have taken these strides. It is important. And we don't have, we don't have to be millionaires. But we just have to be decent human beings and make sure that we are treated as such.
Yes.
Without just cause for anything.
For sure. Yes, I agree with that. I definitely do. Okay, boom. Being a Black man for me, I would say it's really just knowing that I am royalty. I am king. I am great. I am melanated with power, freedom, gifts of the gods, and I am going to be even greater, okay? Just because of my ancestry, just because of what they did for us, the battles they fought for us, honestly, until my dying days, I'm going to be the proudest I can be for just being Black, just being me, and being literally king. Hello? I am a king. I am a king. Yes. Okay. Boom, boom.
Yes.
Yes, really. Amen.
About kings, okay?
Hello? Okay, Brown skin girl.
Listen, I want to talk with you two all the time.
Yes.
I do.
Hello? Yes. Let's do it. Okay, let's do it.
Yes.
Thank you
so much for being on and sharing your time with us tonight. I enjoyed every minute.
Yes.
On all night, to be honest.
Yes, right. Honestly, I really appreciate you. I really appreciate you.
Yes.
You've been you're an incredible host. Okay, boom. Okay, come on, talk show. Come on, talk show. Right. All right. No, this is dope. This is actually awesome. It's a pleasure to be a part, and I really thank you for having us here. It's been a blessing just to talk and really. Hello.
And I will be on time. Listen. I have to be honest. I'm a little heartbroken in my Blackness that I definitely came to this meeting on CP time to talk about being Black. So I am devastated that I'm late.
You're gonna be back, so we're gonna have more to talk about.
And I'll be on time.
Great. Thank you everybody for watching, and I really hope you have a wonderful night. And then stay tuned for next week when we're talking with amazing women about growing up as a Black woman. So stay tuned. All right. Have a good night, y'all.
Have a good one.